8 o'clock. So we got to go. That's right. That's right. It is up and running. Now we go over to Instagram. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, this is technology at its greatest. I think we're going to do this on Instagram. It's telling me we're doing this on Instagram. Okay, so here we go. Welcome to the Go Show. We're celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground world that we live in. Appreciate you hanging out with us, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I believe Instagram. It goes out into the abyss. But I do appreciate you hanging out with me, and it's it's a little early in the morning. It's a little early in the morning. Not the best of mornings, but we're here. We're hanging out. This is going to put me in the best mood in the world, and I appreciate you just having fun with me on the Brewmans during the week and here on the weekends of the Go Show. So welcome. Let's chat about that. What's up, Scotty? What's good, man? This is a interactive show, so go ahead and play along. If you see me do this, yep, that's my old man stuff right there. Yeah, coffee cup cheers to you, my man. Absolutely. And so so I'm old, so I have to be able to read things like that. It was a day. You know what I did yesterday? I met up with a guy to get another tattoo. Get a tattoo, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Yeah. Never go to a tattoo artist's last name is Payne. I kid. Listen, I went out to Will Payne in Avondale, Arizona, and I am so excited about what that man did. It took about 5.5 hours. It was pretty wild. So we'll show you what that's all about coming up shortly here when it's not red and really, really, really ticked off at me. But look him up. Will Payne, Payne. Look him up online. His stuff is absolutely insane. It's so real. It's just so real. His portrait work, his animal work, it's absolutely crazy. So you know me, I'm the outdoor guy. So doing an owl, doing a bison, doing just kind of a lower leg thing. And here's why, honestly, I preach getting outdoors all the time. My legs never get tan. Ever. They don't get tan. Every now and again, I'll get like that flip-flop line, and I'll be like, it happened. My German, Scotch, Irish, pasty legs actually had some color on them. So I'm like, you know what? If I can't get tan, whatever. What's up, Simon? What's good, buddy? Why not just put some ink on them? Yeah. So I like it. It's a lot of fun. It really is actually fun. It's painful. It's not getting a tattoo is exactly what you think it is. For those that don't have a tattoo, here's what it's about. If you have a really bad sunburn and it's somebody scratching it, this is what it feels like. And then there's the times where the needle kind of goes a certain way and you got to kind of tweak that detail and like, oh, what did I do? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? I'm paying for this. This is amazing. Oh, you started the Lamaze breathing. Yeah. That doesn't work, by the way. Ladies, I don't know how you pull it off. I don't know how you have babies by going, maybe you're hyperventilating. I don't know. Maybe that would have been a good idea. Me hyperventilating. Yeah, maybe I just passed out. I was talking to Will about that. There is entire industries where people get like sleeve, their whole arms, their whole legs, whatever it is. They go under anesthesia. What? Hey, for me, I'm like, that's one heck of an idea. I'm like, it sounded good at the time. I'm like, where's the gas? Yeah, that would have been out. Yeah, but I will show the before and after photos. Let me be straight with you. Before is just probably the whitest leg you've ever seen. Yeah, and it was shaved, so it just looked pathetic. Sad. Yes, but my outdoor world and my Celtic heritage is being celebrated on my leg in a tattoo. So we start with an owl, and it is way cool. Yeah, so excited to show you that. But get a tattoo. They said it'll be a lot of fun. They said we're gonna have fun on the show today. We're gonna talk about game meat for the big game. I hope you're serving the guests a little bit of what we do. And I think that's important. I think it's important that we show off what we do, and it changes a lot of hearts and minds because obviously hearts and minds is what we're all about. So we're gonna get to that as well, and just absolute junktastic outdoor TV shows. I caught some last night. I got to tell you, this is some of the worst TV programming I've ever watched. We have to do something about it. And Shaquille O'Neal, I'm a huge fan of Shaq. I've loved Shaq since he was on the movie Blue Chips. Remember that with Nick Nolte? Oof, I'm aging myself in every single way. Yeah. He is participating in a gun buyback program. He is sponsoring a gun buyback program. I'm not kidding. What's up, Brand? How you doing, man? This is thanks, appreciate it. And once again, just pop in anyway. Just comments. They show up on the side here. And again, once you see me get my old man glasses out, I can make sure that was in fact Brandon that said, "Hi, how you doing, bud?" Let's get to this. Last night, after my session of pain on my leg, beautiful artist. It's wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. But I got to elevate the thing. So I was just kind of hanging out at the house, just leg up. And you know me, I turned on some good solid outdoor programming. Because honestly, if there's anything about the Super Bowl going on, it's about Taylor Swift, and I ain't got any time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I turn on the Sportsman's channel, and right away I'm thinking, okay, here we go again. Hey, come along with me on this and chime in, because I think outdoor programming has become the most boring. How would I put this? Just formulaic, straight up blah TV. Because today we're in so and so and so and so, and we're in this town and this county, and we're going to be up in the tree stand with my man so and so from PSE Archery, and we're going to see if we can get on these bucks. And then they show some trail cam footage, and then sure schnitzel. It's always the last day of the hunt. It's the last day of the hunt. Think about this: when they say it's the last day of the hunt on these outdoor shows, it's the last day of the hunt. It's the last day of the hunt because they tagged out. He's like, "Oh, we got this on the last day of the hunt." It's always the last day of the hunt. That just hit me. So maybe they're being honest, because I always thought this is just silly. It's never just always got to be the last day of the hunt. No, it's not the last day of the hunt. It's the last day of your hunt. Anyway, it's the last day of the hunt. And then this big rack, this big beast just appears out of nowhere. And and then they start the voiceover where it's this. And tell me if you've heard this 100 times. Ready for this? I blew on that Primo's buck call, and that buck came in like it was on a string. Yep, every single time. If I hear that thing came in like it was on a string one more time, I might throw something at the TV. Holy mackerel! It's good, Eugene. How you doing, bud? So the TV shows hadn't changed, and I'm like, okay, so I got to go to My Outdoor TV, Sportsman's Channel, Outdoors, whatever it is. It's the same. It's the same everywhere. And I thought, okay. Then something new came on, and this is what I'm talking to you about. So I'm like, okay, we got this. Because when it comes to something new, I remember Chipper Jones of Atlanta Braves fame, Major League Baseball, he started something called Major League Bow Hunter, and that kind of changed the game. There was some really cool camera stuff that he was doing, and it was Chipper Jones. So he's out there with some cool dudes doing some cool things, and it really kind of changing the way we watch outdoor TV. But then last night, something came on. Something came on. Same with the fishing shows. Oh, fishing shows, Eugene. I agree too. We'll get to the fishing shows in a moment. But something came on that looked interesting because it was totally different. And I'm not going to call it out, but this show rips off Tosh.0 and Rob Deerdrick, something like Dietrich. Yeah, that guy, the DC shoe guy. He had a great reality show. I loved his show. But his show Ridiculousness ripped off Tosh.0. And then now this outdoor show, seemingly right out of the gates, absolutely ripped off Ridiculousness. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's an outdoor version of Ridiculousness or Tosh.0. So let's just watch. They're playing videos. Maybe this guy's going to make a pithy comment. He's got his coffee cup in his hand, and you can tell flagrantly it's a prop cup, not even full. But he's got this coffee mug in his hand. He's got this big giant screen behind him. So I'm thinking, okay, this is good. Right away, he gets two guys on there that are telling their story of a hunting video that they posted. Okay, these guys were not prepared. They were not prepared. They were not coached. They're like, just look at you. Oh, you can tell the story. No, you can tell the story. Yeah, well, okay. So my cousin Dave invited us out there. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, save this. They showed the video that they were talking about, and it was an entertaining video. It's like, whoa. I mean, there's like a stampede of giant bucks coming right in front of them, and they had a crossbow, and they had a GoPro set up to the crossbow, and it was really interesting, and I wanted to hear it. And then I realized I didn't want to hear it. The video told me everything I needed. And then what it became, this show became it was it was almost like an infomercial. So then their sponsor shows up, and he's got his hat on with whatever, it's Deer 30 or whatever it was. And so Deer 30, which seems to be a really cool product. It's a baiting product, but I mean, it seems for kind of outside the box baiting product. And basically became a commercial. Why would people use your product? And it's in the middle of the show. I mean, you'll hear me talk about Slavo Salt every now and again. You hear me talk about canning coolers every now and again. And by the way, if you get up to Flagstaff today, Cooler Runnings is going on. If you're up north, Cooler Runnings, they turn canning coolers into bobsleds and they race them down the hill. And they actually have Olympic bobsledders there from the latest team. Yeah, pretty cool. But you'll hear me talk about that. You'll hear me talk about different products throughout Green Mountain Grills. I will sing the great praises of Green Mountain Grills. Who, by the way, Jason, the owner of Green Mountain Grills, was out at Scottsdale, was out at the Open with the Veterans Outpost, as he is every year. So just a cool dude. But you'll hear me talk about that. But we're not going to get, now a word from our spot, or try to weave that in like it's some kind of outdoor content in a show. It was embarrassing. So we got to fix this somehow. I don't know how it is. Maybe we start streaming the show. Maybe we just do something different. I'm noodling some ideas, but I got to tell you, there was nothing more motivating and let's say this, not inspiring, but it got me thinking. Than watching the same old nonsense on outdoor TV that I watched again and again and again and again and again. And yeah, I'm even talking about the bigs. Like I think Jim Shockey has done more for our outdoor world than most anybody. But it's same, not much different. I mean, there's cool adventures where you see him. Maybe a tribal nation has invited him to do something in a harvest, and it's interesting. It's not that different. I think Steve Ranella broke the mold with Meat Eater, which it was fantastic. And it's why it's wildly successful. To this day, that's my go-to. If I have to watch a outdoor program, it's Meat Eater. It's got to be. Because that, again, we're going to get to meat for the big game tomorrow and later in the show. But the game's tomorrow. You get what I'm saying. Well, but it actually shows the rest of the world that we're not just a bunch of bloodthirsty hunters out there. They just want to kill stuff. We harvest an animal. We actually process it. We eat it, and the enjoyment, that entire process. Because I've told you, you'll ask my kids, you'll ask intern Nuge or intern Beans, intern Sarah, you'll ask all of them what my favorite part of the hunt is. They'll say serving food, hands down. Like, even when we're on a hunt, I want to serve game meat on the hunt. So Steve Ranella really changed the mold there. Then there was, and I'm going to look it up right here in my notes, and I apologize. I'm going to look it up on my notes because I wrote the next show that was on, actually saved it. This was called Sporting Chef. Check it out. It's hosted by I forget her name, but it's fantastic. Maybe I wrote it down, and of course I did not. But the Sporting Chef saved the day. This was a show with her making. She was poaching salmon or halibut or something like that. She was making a fish dish, and then there was another guest chef that was a barbecue guy, and then there was another guest chef that's like right in his double wide trailer kitchen, and it was fantastic. And he was making something different. And then there was this woman out in the backyard with standard grills making her thing. And it all just came together, and then she was weaving in and out of that, and then it went back to the dish that she was making, and it was all game meat. And yes, please give me more of that. She's got it down, so I'm all about it. What's that? That's why I like media. Yeah, dude, media is a fantastic show, Simon. It's good to hear from you, buddy. But yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic show. I'm in Steve Ranella, we trust. And if you see Steve Ranella in his podcast is a little lengthy. Just as sorry, Steve, but he has good guests. And it's very thought through, and he's a very intelligent guy. When he is giving lectures or when he's maybe a guest on stage, he is a very, very, very well-informed, educated man. So yeah, Steve Ranella doing it the most. But this show, what was it called again? What I have there? Gosh, I wish I had my interns back. There it is, Sporting Chef. Yeah, check that one out too. Just if you find it around, yeah, set the DVR. And the like, but let's get to it. This is so Eugene said the same with fishing shows. It is, but what can you do with fishing shows? I mean, serious. I guess we ask ourselves. I mean, there's some neat fishing shows, and then there's neater, less neat fishing shows, but they're all about the same. You're right. and it's all about their baits and their advertisers, which is fine. That's how they keep the doors open. So I'm excited about that for them, but there's nothing you can do. I mean, aside of finding out a way where you are constantly down on those lures, watching the action, learning something from it, and watching the fish strike, I don't know what else you can do. I really don't know what else you can do. I mean, fishing is fishing is fishing. That's the thing about hunting. Hunting is it's different in every way. Like everybody hunts a different way, so you can kind of mix up outdoor TV when it comes to hunting. Fishing is fishing. You throw a bait, you reel it in, you throw a bait, you reel it in. There's really not much unless you get like a Mike Iaconelli kind of just over the top character that's just blowing up and just yeah, excited. And he was working with Hobie for a while and he was doing the kayak stuff. I remember he had a decent show. It was something I watched regularly, so I'll call it a good show. Ike had a show that was urban fishing. So he's going around to major cities and hitting the urban waters, hitting the inner city waters and fishing. It was fantastic. But I think it introduced a lot of people to, or at least the thought of, you know what? I can, yeah, I can go up the road a few miles and maybe I can hit that on the way back from work. Or, there's a lot of places here in Arizona too. I love Tempe Town Lake. Don't sleep on Tempe Town Lake. If y'all want to go out there fish at the same time, I don't care. I'm not one of those guys. Don't tell anybody where you got the fish. No. I do like answering that though. Like, where'd you catch that thing? See a picture of something. Where'd you catch that thing? The water. No, there's plenty, especially at Tempe Town Lake. You might want to throw French fries and weird things that college kids throw into the lake because that's what those fish are eating. That's what they're accustomed to. The list is long and probably not appropriate for this show. But Tempe Town Lake, I like just going out there and bringing food and just throwing a line and letting it sink. There's a lot of catfish in there. I saw a guy catch probably a 30-pound flathead. So bring some tackle. But they've got some good catfish in there. So I just like letting a bait sink. I like even chicken livers or little what is that? What did I really do? Oh, the cheddar teeny weenies. Yeah, the little teeny weenies, some cheddar infused teeny weenies. Kind of hard to get them to get to stick to the bait, but it's still some good stuff there. It is. But this is a genre fishing that you can't really change. You can't really change it. So this is my suggestion to you. Unless you want to see the shows that are offshore fishing, which is fantastic and a lot of fun. I just sit there on the couch with a lot of envy, a lot of boat envy, and basically lifestyle envy. Let's be honest there. And unless you're watching that, I mean, go make your own show. Yeah, go make your own show. I think that would be a fantastic idea. Instead of watching it, go out and do it. Just go out and find an urban pond. And I mean, there's plenty. They don't call them urban ponds anymore. What do they call them? What does Game and Fish call them? They stock them with trout and cat. There's some bass in there as well. Community fishing ponds. Yes. So go on the Game and Fish site and look at that, get your license and go out there, especially for the kiddos. Hunting and fishing license, $5. $5. Come on now. What are you going to do? $5 for the year for a hunting and fishing license, any kid under 18 years old. That's a game changer. And let me tell you why that is. I'm going to kind of give you the reasoning behind it. Because Game and Fish isn't like breaking the bank with $5 licenses when we're paying $75, right? So at one point, and this was a few years ago when they made the decision to go to $5 licenses for kids, combo licenses. The average age of a license holder in the state of Arizona went up 1 year every year. So I'm going to say that again. The average age of a license holder here in Arizona went up, and it's pretty standard nationwide, went up 1 year every year. That means that there were no younger people having licenses. There weren't younger people participating in the North American model of wildlife conservation. There weren't younger people that were going to be tomorrow's conservationists and outdoorsmen and women. How did Game and Fish fix that? Boom, $5 license. License sales to the roof. Change that trajectory in a big way, and that's a really cool idea too, right? And it's I think that that piece of information is something that you should share with your neighbors. You should share with everyone that rolls into the Super Bowl. Okay, your Super Bowl party, you'll be like, "Hey, welcome! Great, we got some chips over here." And did you know a hunt and fish combo license with Arizona Game Fish only $5 for anyone under 18 years old? No, not saying that. But in conversations about the outdoors, about hunts, maybe you put in for the draw, you put in for elk, and you start that conversation. You say, "Hey, listen, do your kids got licenses?" No, man, this is, they don't hunt and fish enough. That's probably going to be the response you get. Did you know they're only $5? Love that. Be an advocate, be a salesperson. Fine, call me, I'll give you a commission on the $5. It's not like we're out there trying to make money. Yeah. Yeah. Tempe Town Lake, Scotty, it's a great question. Tempe Town Lake has edible fish? Sure. Look, anything's edible. I don't eat the fish I catch at Tempe Town Lake. I throw them back. I'm very catch and release at Tempe Town Lake, although it is probably perfectly safe. I remember when they had the Iron Man come through Tempe, and the Iron Man, the triathletes are all getting ready while I was out there with Captain Nuge fishing, and I stopped a lady who was she had all this stuff, so I knew she was one of the riders. I said, "Are you really swimming in here?" And she goes, "Yeah, we do it every year." I'm like, "Okay, cool." She didn't have a third eye or anything like that. Yeah, it's not like it's a body of water out by the nuclear power plant. I guess it's okay. But I mean, let's talk about grown-ups here. Scotty, I do appreciate the question. Um, can't post comments on the same destination. What is that about? Okay, anyway, we'll get to that later. But let's be honest here. We eat tilapia. Tilapia are bottom feeders. We eat catfish. They're bottom feeders. So what I don't understand why somebody wouldn't eat something out of Tempe Town Lake. I just don't have really the menu for catfish now that my grandma's gone. I mean, my grandma loved catfish. You give grandma catfish, she's all about that. She go, yeah, she go catfish. So I'm just out there for fun, catch and release. I never really thought should I or should I not take that. It's just kind of a pain in the processing and all that. So I just out there for funsies. But I don't think I wouldn't eat something. I think if I was over at somebody's house and they say, "Hey, we're having catfish tonight. I caught this stuff in Tempe Town Lake," I would be okay with that. I really would. I mean, the canals, like the farm canals and stuff like that, we're used to fishing when we were younger. No, I mean, because those canals are just basically pesticide runoff. You don't want any of that. At least I don't want any of that. But yeah, look into like tilapia. Tilapia is a very, very popular fish. And so tilapia is a bottom feeder. They eat waste. So I don't understand what the youngins these days over there at Tempe Town Lake at ASU would be throwing into Tempe Town Lake that would make the fish unedible. So who knows? Yeah, give it a try. Yeah. You've done 3 triathlons, Jeff. We need to talk, buddy. Yeah. Oh, at Tempe Town Lake. Oh, yes, the cream of mallard really is what it is. He called it duck poops. Yeah, the cream. I call it cream of mallard. He said it's pretty gross. Okay. All right. There we go. There's this. This is for someone who's actually been in the water right there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I actually take back. I'm not encouraging you to eat anything from Tempe Town Lake. I'm just saying I haven't. And thank goodness that Jeff just told me I was right in having not. I don't know. I probably would have if that guy that I saw pull out that flathead, I probably would. If he was having a little get together, something like that, I'd have had some catfish nuggets with him. Yeah. I don't know. That was just impressive fish. Could you imagine? I remember one time I caught a 9.5 pound cat in the Colorado River in current with 6 pound line, and I was throwing a rooster tail. I was just fishing for just fishing for little smallmouth, little whoever's just running around the docks at the time, and my line just. I'm like, holy, what is this? I thought it got snagged on like a log, but when that thing started, with the tip of that rod started bouncing, I'm like, that is a cat, and that is a ticked off cat. It took me so long to get in the thing. I get that thing in. It was seriously like offshore fishing, and it was just a catfish. And I was it was in the current though. So I'm fighting the current, I'm fighting the fish, and on this little light line, on this little tiny lure, and it was a blast. So could you imagine being out at Tempe Town Lake and you're just fishing for whatever you're fishing for, and this giant flathead jumps on, and all of a sudden you got a 35-pound fish on your line. Oh, That's a good time right there. I don't again, don't threaten me with a good time. But yeah, Timmy Town Lake, make it happen. And make your own shows. Do that. Post the stuff to YouTube. Let's have some fun. Let's represent Arizona. If you're new to Arizona, by the way, and I think everybody on here is going to agree, if you're new to Arizona, you need to relearn how to fish and hunt, especially if you came from the Midwest. It's just a different ball game out here, and it's exciting. And I hope you take that as an opportunity for something fun, is to learn something new. And fishing out here is a different skill. It's a different skill set. Hunting out here is you're doing groundwork and glasswork. Period. There's very rare are you going to get into a blind or get into a tree stand. Yeah, very rare you can do that. But if you are new, I do encourage you. How you doing? I'm Mike Russell, by the way. I'm the host of the Go Show. We've been doing this our 11th year, and I'm going to encourage you to hire a guide. Just look into a guide. Whether you say your closest body is maybe one of the chain lakes, or maybe it's Lake Pleasant. Arizona Fishing Guides, great group. Hookup Tackle in at Lake Pleasant. Give them a call and just say, hey, listen, I want a half day. I want somebody to teach me this body of water. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Get on some fish, learn the tips and tricks, the techniques, so you can get out there on your own and just kind of relearn how to be an outdoorsman. Here in Arizona, this is different. We have a playground here. I got to tell you, Arizona is the most biodiverse state in the nation, non-coastal biodiverse state in the nation. We have 820 plus species of animal the game and fish has to keep track of. Woohoo! There's a lot going on. There's hunting opportunities 24/7 and 365 in Arizona. So it's a good thing. So let's do this. Tomorrow's a big deal. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl. Monday is the most requested day off or most call-in sick day. What does Scotty say? Just hearing about the junket, but then again, I was advised not to keep any out of Saguaro Lake. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's look, you just make your own call. I still think anything we take from the rivers, the streams, the fields, the sky is probably the healthiest thing we can get. It's funny that if you're advised not to take a fish out of a certain body of water, I mean, right? Like I said, those irrigation canals out in the farms in the West Valley, right? You get a sense. But other than that, what's the difference of commercially farmed stuff that ends up in the grocery store and Costco? Where's that been? Who's touched that? What are these? What are the licensings? What, the licensings? Hold on. I may need some coffee on that one. Licensings. That's a new word. Let's try it again here. All right. I don't know what the regulatory climate is in all the states that it passed through getting to my grocery store. So I'd rather just take a risk of a fish that's been in a beautiful lake like Saguaro or Canyon or Apache. Good luck. But yeah, so I would rather just take my chances there. But tomorrow is a big day. It is Super Bowl. I want to get scooting here. Did you? Instagram cuts us off at an hour. I did not know that. Tomorrow's a big day. And if you're on Instagram, by the way, just zip over to Facebook or zip over to YouTube or to X, formerly known, the artist formerly known as Twitter. And we're streaming there as well. So tomorrow's a big game, Super Bowl Sunday. I could not be less excited about this game. I didn't watch a lot of football this season because the Cardinals were absolutely terrible. I did win a little bit of dough in that Dallas Cowboys game, though. Go Cards. But I haven't watched a lot of football. I do not want either of these teams to win. I could not care less. And now that the big buzz and the big talk is just simply Taylor Swift, I'm like, okay. But this is a good opportunity. You see, I really don't want to be interested in the game. I do dig the commercials. I'm excited about that. But God bless the internet. If I miss them, I got them back like that. It's no big deal. This is an opportunity for me to show my love language. My love language, as I mentioned earlier, if you ask intern Nuge, intern Beans, and intern Sarah, if you ask them what my favorite part of a hunt or fishing expedition is, they'll say it's serving the food. It's cooking. And so my cooking is my love language. So I'm taking this opportunity to cook a lot of food, have a big old spread out, and those that are attending Super Bowl Sunday at Mikasa, they know who I am. They know what to expect. As a matter of fact, a lot of them ask, "Okay, what is this that you killed here? What am I eating? What animal am I?" They'll look to the wall and say, "Point to which animal this is." And I did that recently. I was like, "No, that's Phil. He's on the wall there. That's my Watusi." What, you don't name your mounts? Oh, I do. Yeah. I have, let's see here. Phil is the Watusi because he looks like a fallopian tube. Not a lie. Big shout out to Ellie on that one. Thank you. There's a Jillian's intern Beans is giant hog, Hogzilla. His name is MCA because a big beastie he be. See, go back in the day, right? My kids know what's up. The Rams named Cliff. Yep, that's right. Cliff is easy, easy breeze. So through the little Russian boar, Boris. We didn't get you. Obviously, his name's Boris. He's Russian. He's a Boris. Boris. It took us minutes to come up with that one. Anyway, so during the game, they'll pick up a piece of something and say, "What is this?" So I'm gonna have some bison summer sausage out. I'm going to have some of Jilly's MCA out as well. And it's just going to be a good thing. But here's what I encourage you to do. Yes, you're not the only one, Brandon. I'm glad you name them. Throw me some names. I want to hear what you're naming yours as well. I only do the European mounts. I do. It's a thing with me. People are like, oh, you should shoulder mount that. I'm like, I don't want that thing looking at me. Every time I walk by, he's like, sorry. Yeah, because with the skulls, at least, because I love skulls. I'm a skull nut. So the skulls, at least, it's just kind of like you might have found that in the desert. It's a little more palatable to people that are coming over to your pad. That like, whoa, there's a lot of things here. Yeah, so it's good. But I love naming them, and it just once again this conversation started, and that's what it is. So that's why I wanted to talk about game meat for the big day, is because this is an opportunity for us to show, hey, we're not a bunch of bloodthirsty animal killers. It's not what we do. And B, this is part of a process that if you ever want to be a part of, we would love for you to be a part of that process. And I think that's the most special part to me, because there's the invite. One of the most basic things that you can serve tomorrow at the big game is dove poppers. I think dove poppers are it's the easiest thing to do. So let me talk about that real quick, because I think everyone's doing them wrong. I just said that. Yes, everyone's making dove poppers wrong. Even if you go to the store, you see they have in the frozen food section, they have like, oh, let's have some jalapeno poppers. You guys are doing them wrong. Let me tell you why I say you're doing them wrong. Mostly a lot of people with jalapeno poppers are going to deboat them out. So they're going to cut the jalapeno in half, and they're going to pull the seeds out. God, please pull the seeds out. Jeez, people crying and blowing their nose and all that. It's just embarrassing. They hollow it out. They put some dove in there, or anything you could buy. You can have bison poppers. You can have anything. You have Watusi poppers, hog poppers, javelina poppers, whatever you have. So you put the animal protein in, and then you smother the thing in cream cheese and rub around with a big old piece of bacon. Right? That's my bacon wrap sound. So you wrap it with the bacon. And then you get it on the Green Mountain Grill, or you get it on, you bake them, whatever you're going to do with them, put them on your charcoal grill. And here's what happens. It takes so long to cook that bacon that you ruin the meat inside. So now you have, especially when it's dove, you have shoe leather, deer shoe leather. Then people are like, oh, that's deer. That's what dove tastes like. Tastes like cream cheese and jalapeno. Here's how to fix that. Yeah, let's fix it. Here's what I do. So I would put I would take a half a slice of bacon, just a half a slice, right? And so a lot of half a slices, excuse me. And I will put those in the oven and just get them to the point where they're just about ready to get crispy, right? So they're cooked, almost done, right? So you set them out to cool. Once they cool, they're pliable. They're that. Sometimes maybe there's a few crispy parts on there. No big deal. You just grab those, and then I take a half of a dove breast, and I take a piece of frozen. I freeze a block of cream cheese, so it's still cuttable, but it's pliable. You can play with it. So I take that. I take a pickled jalapeno. I open it up, and it's just this little strip of jalapeno. This is a game changer. I'm telling you, this is big game food for the big game. I take a little strip, and then I wrap the bacon around that, and then I take a toothpick and I put it through. Toothpicks, by the way, have been soaked in water. It's always good if you're using toothpicks or wood skewers. Always soak those things in water. That way they don't just light on fire the second you put them on the grill. So Now, what happens is right when that bacon is done cooking, and I remember Chef Eddie Matney, God bless you if you're watching, buddy. It's good to see you. Hopefully we can chat again, connect. He said use turkey bacon, thin turkey bacon. And this is why, because turkey bacon is just salty. It doesn't take away from the flavor of the protein, the animal that you've harvested. So when you're eating a jalapeno popper, there is cream cheese, there is jalapeno, there is the bacon, but there is that whatever you put in there, the javelina, dove, whatever it is. Pigeon, by the way, fantastic for poppers. I know we can have that conversation at another time, but pigeon is fantastic for poppers as well. And this is a very, very good introductory meal for your people to come over and say, look, this is your introduction to game meat. Yeah. I think that's probably the easiest way. I can't think of anything easier. Or if I at Casey's, I asked them when I brought the Watusi and I brought the bison, I said, I want some of your summer sausage. Summer sausages are great. You get some processors give you the snack sticks. Just chop those up as little teeny weenies and just serve them. And to say, yeah, that was actually my that was my ram. Bratwurst, you can do the same thing. You can actually I have some ram bratwurst. And the bratwurst you just cook, you just chop it up, and you just serve it as kind of with little toothpicks, and away you go. And that's it. And that's in what, even if it's a topic of conversation, isn't a topic of conversation, I will guarantee you this: it will be a topic of conversation for them on the way home. They'll be, oh, wow, yeah, I knew Mike hunted. I didn't know he processed the stuff. I didn't know that there were so many different ways that you could have game meat that we got to eat. I would have never eaten game meat. Holy mackerel! If you would have told me that we were eating game meat, I would have made it an excuse not to go to his Super Bowl party. On the way home, they're like, we should try that. Maybe next time we're over there, maybe we just maybe we pop in again and we have dinner with them, and maybe we make some elk steaks or something cool like that. Yeah, it's just a great introduction. It's a great opportunity to just do this. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's probably got a few adult drinks in them, and it's easy. Okay, this is basically the Super Bowl, and I'd say holiday gatherings are the two chip shots. I would say chip shots. Those are our opportunities. Those are opportunities, outdoors men and women, to win hearts and minds and to really push forward on spreading the joys of hunting and fishing in the outdoor lifestyle and the North American model of wildlife conservation. How about that? Yeah. And then I'm sorry, just playing with these as well. I think Scotty said something. He said, yeah, I guess. Yeah. You named him Morty, Michael Jackson, Charlie. Is that Charlie? And Ginger. Okay, I want to know what those are. Those are fantastic. And I you have a mounted javelina. I do not have a mounted javelina. Javelina don't exist. I'm just saying, no. Been javelina hunting several times, and I believe that when Tequila Jim he got one when we were on our hunt. I think that was just a plush doll, and he was just messing around with me. I don't know. I've been javelina hunting too many times and didn't see javelina to say they exist. So that's what I'm going to stick with. But no, I do not have a mounted javelina, Scott. But Brandon, what the heck, man? Morty, Michael Jackson is what I'm just curious about. I just want to know why one of your mounts is named Michael Jackson. You can go put it in the comments. I won't throw you on blast if it's anything weird. But I do want to know about that for sure. So thanks for playing along. This is the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor world that we live in. And I'm honored to be here with you in our 11th year now, streaming exclusively on all these channels. I think Rumble is a thing. We're gonna try that, I guess, over the week. Rob and I were told to be on Rumble. I don't know what Rumble is. I thought it was one of those certain types of dating sites. I honestly did. I thought it was. That's what I thought it was. But okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. Rumble, and I think there's two others that are being like we're on Twitch and all that as well. So we're gonna figure it out. So just check us out wherever you are streaming or just scrolling around. Yeah. Do I have a javelina call? Wait a second. Do I have a javelina call? You know, Jim, I don't have a javelina call. What I heard people using is predator calls. That they come jumping in on predator calls. I had no idea. So no, I don't have a javelina call. If you can, you just go ahead and shoot a link in there, man. I'll go grab one. I guess I'll just go out and play with it. Because I go down south. There's farms down in Yuma that you just basically grab a javelina, please. So yeah. So let me know about that, Jim. And yeah, no, I have an issue that we're going to get to here, and this is a problem for me. A headline that I saw, let's say it was, I believe, Thursday, about Shaquille O'Neal. Mike, hold on. This is an outdoor show. I know it's an outdoor show. And again, after 11 years, y'all know you need to give me a long runway. I will get to it, I promise, where it fits into the outdoors. But this is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, I've been a Shaq fan for a hot minute. I have. I really have. I was at one of his first games, I think it was with the Orlando Magic here in Phoenix. And I watched him take down the backboard. Play was suspended for about 20 minutes. So they had to replace the backboard. That was like his big thing. Like for all you old guard out there, you'll know he's kind of our generation of Daryl Dawkins. Daryl Dawkins was a guy who named his dunks and he just broke backboards for funsies. That was back in the old days when they didn't have like breakaway rims. And Shaq just brought down the entire thing. Like I think there was a breakaway rim, but the weight and mass that he threw behind this dunk, the whole thing just and I'm gonna do my little sound effect here, went and just laid itself down. He broke the hydraulics on it. So I've been a Shaq fan for a hot minute. And you can tune into to Russell and Hunter on Monday if you want my opinion on Shaq and Papa John's pizza. Ooh. There's a real story behind the whole Papa John's pizza and Shaquille O'Neal that is not good. It's actually a tragic story about this guy who founded this company, blew it up to wild success, and just got canceled. And Shaq came in to save the day for them, apparently. So anyway, I'm a big Shaq fan. I love his attitude. I love his thoughts on things. It seems really thoughtful. He seems really thoughtful in what he portrays as his character, his persona, and he just seems like a guy just to have a bunch of fun. He's also I told you, a long runway, but here we go. He's also a volunteer deputy sheriff, and he is a very pro law enforcement guy, which again makes me love him some more. I mean, the guy, he wants to do good. I am a fan of Shaq. I don't like what Shaq's doing today. I don't like what Shaq's doing tomorrow. I don't like it. I think that it is it's insulting, because in our outdoor world, firearms are such a huge part of our world. And I'm not getting political here. I just don't like this thought of a gun buyback program. I don't. If somebody wanted a gun buyback program, they would have handed their guns in as it is. But Shaq is in Texas this weekend on a gun buyback program. I'm sure he's heading to Vegas, but I mean, the gun buyback program is $100 for a handgun, $125 for a long gun. And who wants to, by the way, who has an AR-15 that wants to give it up for a $125 gift card? Okay. But I don't like the symbolism behind it. Instead of taking on the real issues of nefarious people with firearms, you're asking law-abiding citizens to come hand in your gun for what, $100 Chipotle card? I don't know, Visa card, whatever you give them. And to call it a gun buyback program, that irks me. No one's owned my firearms but me, except the ones I bought used. I mean, that would be a buyback if the original owner came back and said, I'd like to buy my firearm back. Okay, that's a gun buyback program. No one has owned my firearms but me. So there's no buyback. You got a kid, there was a tragic story, a horrific story in New York City. A kid, 15-year-old migrant, 15 years old, at a 45 out open fire in Times Square. What the? That's where we need to focus our energy on, not us hunters and outdoorsmen and sportsmen. This is really where we need to focus our energy, focus our time on what to do with that problem. How did a 15-year-old migrant get a firearm? Not with a background check. There's nothing you could say. There's nothing you could do to say, we need to expand background checks that would have stopped that kid from, there's no number of background checks or no laws that would have stopped that kid from getting a gun. How do you get that gun? So we need to focus on that. Not, here's what I want to do on a virtue signal, and they've had a shooting here in this town, and I'm going to show up with my name, my image, my brand, and I'm going to say, we're going to buy back those guns. Woo, we're going to make the streets safe. From who? Or is it whom? From whom? Anyway. Law-abiding citizens? Those that see an advertisement on TV that Shaq's going to have a gun buyback event in Texas, and you go to your safe and you get the firearms and you take them there. Those people weren't going to do nefarious things with their firearms. You're not saving anyone. And then what happens? Look at the state of Arizona. State of Arizona, you can't, the police can't do anything with those but sell them. Yeah, just around and around and around we go. Holy mackerel! All right, this is the Go Show. Thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate this. Let's get to some of this. Tom, what you got? Okay. Oh, the J13 JavelinaHunter.com. I gotta check that out. Thanks, Tom. Definitely look into that for sure. Yeah, Sportsman's have them, Jim. Okay, I'll go check those out. Oh, okay. Rumble would be. Thanks, Scotty. Appreciate that. Rumble would be good for your last afternoon show. All right. Oh, okay. Don't like the interface personally as a viewer, but okay, we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. But I appreciate you guys weighing in. This is what we do. I love having a chat with you. Good morning, by the way, and happy weekend to you. Happy Saturday. Chime in if you will, and let me know if 8:00 works for everybody here. Like I think this is a fun time. I think 8:00 on Saturday morning is something that we should definitely do. So keep doing. So keep the comments coming. I'll poke around on social throughout the day. But I am off to celebrate my mom. How about that? It's her birthday this week. So I'm going to make her some brunch. How about that? All right. This is the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of world that we live in. Keep getting out there. Have a good, the weather is fantastic. Look. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's still nice out there. Yeah. It's really, really nice out there. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Get outside, go on bikes, go on walks, paddle board, go fishing, do something. Just do something with your family this weekend that isn't just staring at a screen watching funny commercials. So have a great Super Bowl weekend. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. And we will catch you next time right here on the Go.